Hey, what's up guys, this is Astranox and I'm back to another Epic 7 video. Let me just start off with my daily summon. Alright, let's get into the Abyss. Floor 74. This is gonna be real nice, this chess piece. Hopefully it rolls well. Okay, the team I'm gonna go with is this one. I'm gonna put Kluri in front because Basar is Earth. Sandwind, transfer 1 debuff from the caster to the enemy. Hurricane attacks all enemies, releasing a hot sand hurricane with a 75% chance to decrease hit chance for 2 turns, 3 turn cooldown. When your hit chance is decreased, you have a 50% chance to miss, and when you miss, you deal 75% normal damage, and you cannot land any debuff and you cannot crit. Sandstorm, 4 turn cooldown, attacks all enemies with sand magic, dispelling all buffs and making them unable to be buffed for 2 turns. That is super annoying. If you're running Angelica, we'll see how it goes, but Basar is really good at stripping the enemy's buffs. Piercing Lung, Rusty Slime, pierce the enemy, dealing damage proportional to the number of debuff inflicted on the enemy. Sap Cover, 2 turn cooldown, weigh down the enemy, dispelling 1 debuff and making them unhealable for 3 turns. That is very long. This dispel 1 buff from you and then inflict poison for 2 turns. Or in order, it dispels and then inflicts the poison. So you could get your debuff immunity stripped off and then the poison gets applied if you do have debuff immunity. Attacks the enemy, decreasing attack for 2 turns, 2 turn cooldown. We'll see who is on the first and second wave, but you guys know from the thumbnail of the video who is on the last wave. Attacks with sun magic with a 20% chance to gain an extra turn. Purification, dispels all debuffs cast on all allies and grants immunity for 1 turn. This Night Seed needs to die ASAP because it can gain extra turn and just keep on dispelling and even granting immunity. That's just insane. Especially if you are relying on debuffs like poison to kill the boss, you definitely want to take it out if it's part of the second wave. Ambush claws the enemy with a 50% chance to make them unhealable for 2 turns. So there was that other ad that applied unhealable for 3 turns, and this one applies it for 2 turns. Attacks all enemies with powerful wind, granting immunity to the caster for 3 turns. Damage dealt increases proportional to the amount of enemies' lost health. So yeah, you do get lower health and it will deal more damage. Grants immunity for 2 turns at the beginning of the battle and enhances ambush if the caster is buffed. Okay, so it's just gonna be for itself. An ambush. So maybe the chance goes up, 75% chance or maybe 100% chance. But let's see what happens in there. I'm just gonna auto the first turn. So that that unit that was able to spam the spell pretty much and apply immunity is gonna be with the boss, and that Ferris, the last one I was talking about, he's gonna be part of the boss battle as well. So I'm definitely gonna take out that dark ad first. I don't want them to have immunity all the time. Not only that, but Basar is gonna take off my buffs, and I'm relying quite heavily on my buffs. So we'll see if I can maybe just save the ultimate for after he uses the strip on his ultimate, and then apply mine afterward. We'll see how that goes. Now, I don't have Angelica in front, so she's not benefiting from the she's not gonna get hit as often to get the -1 turn cooldown with the Prophetic Candlestick that she's wearing. Now this fight, you can, if you take out the ad that applies, that removes debuffs and grants immunity, you're good to go with poison. But Basar is gonna transfer debuffs from himself to you with his skill 1. So you will deal less damage, but you can still take him out. And then you can just rely also on a Daydream Joker 3-star artifact, and of course the Guardian. First Guardian deals 10% of the target's max HP plus 45% of the party's attack. Second Guardian deals 15% of the target max HP and 80% of the the party's attack. And the third Guardian, if you are running Kairos for poison, you definitely want the Guardian number 3 if you want to speed things up, because he does lower your cooldown, making Kairos just go more often, and then you can apply a poison more frequently. So Crom Cruz, the Guardian number 3, deals 12% of the target's max health and damage plus 70% of the party's attack, your party's attack. FYI, just for your information if you didn't know. So Guardians are can definitely help you out. So you're gonna have to probably do a mix of soul burning your skills and using the Guardian. Just balance it out so you don't use just the Guardian when you could benefit from soul burning your skills. In my previous videos, I've been just using my soul burn, I've let my soul get to full. Maybe I didn't state it quite often, but it was just to make the battle harder and prolong the battle, so you guys could see some of the mechanics of the fight, see how much damage the enemy would do and stuff like that. But if I want to make things super easy, well, not while fighting a stripper like Basar, but I would just soul burn Angelica's ultimate. That's a 4-turn debuff immunity, and that makes a massive difference. So that ad in front needs to die ASAP. Got defense down, debuff applied. So Basar, oh yeah, let's check his passive. This thing wasn't there when we read the skills. Grant stackable attack and speed increase buffs every time the caster uses Hurricane or Sandstorm. Hurricane, 3-turn cooldown, and Sandstorm is 4-turn cooldown. So I'm gonna have to... Ah yes, that's the thing. This dispels and then applies unable to be buffed. That's why Basar is such a crazy good stripper unit. He just takes off your debuffs and then you cannot apply any buff to your whole team. So I could just go and pop the immunity. Well, I'm gonna do it now because he's not close to using it. But the thing is, might as well have the immunity because it might get resisted. The strip might get resisted. I might keep the immunity, and I'm gonna have unable to be buff debuff applied if I don't have the immunity. But if I'm lucky and I keep the immunity, the unable to be buff debuff will not get applied, so that's a plus right there. Now what I can do against this ad that is gonna go second is I can just provoke him, making him unable to use his skill 2 to dispel debuffs applied on their team. So that's just what I'm gonna do. Well, I just work on killing it. Let's check the health now of each of the monsters. It's about to happen. Okay, 48,000. I will do a heal here just to be safe. 48.6k. Kluri goes. Let's just attack this ad and see how much health it has. 38,000. I mean, that's not too bad. So if you are running Kluri, which I recommend bringing, if you're unlucky and you've never pulled a Kluri and you were not able to do the whole hero specialization and have her, I mean, there's other heroes, of course. Thing is, if you're struggling, like I said, I've been talking about Poison, Daydream Joker, the Guardians, all that can let you do these levels quite easily in most of the Abyss floors. It's just gonna take time. Gonna start working on the ads. So you can just do it. It takes time. Have your team stronger. Have your team more tanky. You don't need this formation. Like, you don't need Angelica. You can just do it with Katis if you have her. If you don't have a Katis, well, there's Hazel. You can use Hazel with Jetched. I mean, both are free. You might just need more gear, but it's doable. These ads might take a while to kill with the debuff immunity. I could be working on Basar. How big of a threat are they really? They have the immunity at the start of the battle. They will not gain it anymore, I believe. But if I attack these ads, it will prolong the battle and have us see all the mechanics of the fight and see how much damage each unit deals. Okay, so I have this ready. Now I'm just gonna do it on this ad so I can take off this immunity potentially. And it got resisted. Alright, the boss is not close to using this sandstorm. If you're using Diene, like, she heavily relies on the barrier. Barrier is godly on her, but this is gonna really mess you up. So if you don't have Rod on her, which is, as a free-to-play player, yes, you could have Diene, but having her plus Rod is quite unlikely unless you were very lucky or you bought it for dust. But for the first rotation, since it was implemented, Rod is not in the shop yet, and I don't think they're just gonna have it available on the second reset. But anyways, like I said, all these floors are possible. You just need to you can rely on poison. It doesn't have to be Kairos. I don't have Kairos. Been playing for 80 days and I don't have Kairos. So yeah, because I have Bellona. Bellona is really good, but I could have pushed in the Abyss. It's just I didn't feel like taking forever to do all these floors with Daydream Joker. Daydream Joker with Guardian. Some boss are able to heal. You could apply unhealable debuff and keep on going with Daydream Joker and the Guardian. Debuff immunity is about to run out. It might have been this one. So this Ferris ad deals quite a bit of damage actually, so it was a good idea to take it out. Do it! Do it! Well, at least. Okay, so let's just hope for effect resistance to kick in. 25% effect resistance on the boss. There we go. There it is, the strip. Can I resist something? You see, it got resisted on 2 heroes, so it's not a total loss. There is still a chance, like you might get a resist, and it's gonna be, well, I mean, it's nothing insane. The boss, if you can apply speed down on the boss and speed up on your group, it does make a massive difference. Silk is free. you can definitely, like, as a free-to-play player, let's say you were extremely unlucky. You've got Silk, you've got Hazel, you've got Jetched. That's already 3 heroes. Now, if you have Kluri, you can use her. Jetched bring. The thing is, you're gonna have speed buff with Jetched and Silk if you go with that team, but speed buff is not up all the time, so you could cycle them, like just have them so you have a better uptime on the buff, because having speed up is quite huge. You can much easier like stabilize your team in a sticky situation. Let's say you take a lot of burst damage, well, your whole team's faster and you are able to cut in between, like steal turns from the enemy and just like have your healer like go more often and be able to sustain your group. Like this team doesn't have that much like healing potential. That attack buff he is gaining is cannot be removed because we can't see it when I press it, but I believe that's the one, Desert Force, because there's nothing else that says anything about an attack buff. He's gonna keep on working on the ad. He's about to go here. How much damage he's gonna deal? Okay, nothing crazy. If your Silk doesn't deal too much damage, but pretty much like mine, you could just have Silk on Basar. Just have Silk attack Basar to reduce his combat readiness and help you control him. But if you do that and you have like Infinity Basket like I do on my Silk, if you are proccing dual attacks, they will trigger on Basar instead of the ad. So keep that in mind. There's so many floors in the Abyss that you can do with a very tanky team. You don't have to go crazy with the speed, just have a bunch of health and defense. And yeah, just use Daydream Joker and Guardians. Like all these Abyss floors, I've been surprised by how little damage they actually deal. There's quite a few bosses that do gain attack over time, but I didn't feel like it was game breaking. Like it wasn't something that scaled to insane numbers. It was just a steady growth kind of deal. I don't know, maybe they were gaining 5% attack or 10% attack every turn or every few turns. But let's say if it's 5%, that's nothing crazy. So if you do slow down the enemy, you apply speed down, and you have speed up, and you are reducing the combat readiness of the boss, well then you're going way more often. If you, let's say you don't have Angelica, right? You're like, oh my god, this debuff immunity is godly. Well, if you have a Katis, she strips all the debuffs from everyone in your group. I mean, if you've got skill ups on her, you reduce her skill cooldown. And you're using her, let's say, with Jetch, right? Which is free. Jetch, every time he goes, you can have a 100% chance on him to dispel a debuff, right? So you've got those two. Now, another thing you can have is the Mysterious Potion Vial artifact 4-star, and there was so many chances to get a 4-star artifact through the story, through the events, and through just like login rewards or something like that. So there, you might have Mysterious Potion Vial, and do not always remember you have it, and it's there if you need it. So there's that as well. He's about to go, and yeah, I mean, just go. He's gonna use that. He's gonna use it now. Cannot be buffed. So the damage. Well, nothing on myself. That dealt a lot of damage. So this only extends the duration. I will just use it without the burn because there's no point. Cannot be buffed. I just want the healing to apply. Now at this point, I will try to get speed down applied onto him, and it happened. I have 100% accuracy, or I keep forgetting what it's called in the game. Like they had to name it effectiveness. They had to name it differently than like pretty much all the other games I've played. So I'm gonna get that heal from Angelica here. But my team is squishy, that's why like it seems clutch, but my survival, you will see on Silk and Bellona, is very low. This will... Need to bother about this? Not quite, right? Just pop the Guardian here. This Guardian deals 10% of the target's max health, plus 45% of the party's attack. Another turn. I'm just gonna go for this, or I could trigger a dual attack. And that's it. I can just burn with Silk. All the rest and finish the battle. Alright. That's gonna be really nice. I hope it rolls well. I hope it rolls well for you guys as well. Like, this is a bit... These items we're getting from the Abyss, they are huge. Like, if you're lucky and you get some nice rolls onto them, you're gonna be able to use them for so long. So the next floor is this, and then the boots here. Alright, let me show you my gear. CP, by the way, like on damage dealers is higher than support heroes. That's just the way it is. So if you're running like a group with like 4 supports with low damage and just relying on Poison and Daydream Joker, your CP is going to be quite low. So yeah, the skill ups first: Bellona, Silk, Kluri, and Angelica. And the gear, just pause if I go too quick. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video. I see on Silk, like, her crit chance is low, 38%, but I'm using her for the speed, the dual attack boost here. And I mean, it works out. The effectiveness, especially from this, which I got. All my jewelry, I pretty much buy them from the secret shop in the lobby. The bartender, just every day, like between, I check that thing like 10 to 18 times per day since the game got released. So you can imagine how many chances I've got. And to refresh this, if you want, you have to pay 3 Sky Stones. So I did save up quite a bit by just being active. Well, you don't need to play all the time. You just log in every hour and check it out. Every time you do it, it's like you gain 3 Sky Stones. So yeah, I never actually paid Sky Stones for refreshing. I'm free to play, and that's just another thing I've been doing to get as much as possible out of that thing, and without spending my Sky Stone and using them for converting into energy. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Check out my other videos. I'm out for now. Good luck with the level and the gear and the roll. Alright, peace.